dugouts. They dig a hole straight down and cover it with artificial whatever, just deep enough so they can stand up. It's what they call a spider trap. And he's out there and a Jap come behind him, spider trap, and threw a grenade which hit him in the ankle and rolled about 5 feet and didn't go off, it didn't explode. Wonderful. No, his mind exploded. By 5 o'clock we had him in a padded cell aboard ship. No, I mean, bing! Just like that, he was nuts. You just didn't know what, definitely not why. But anyhow, we got ready to go into Saipan, and we lined up, I think 13 artillery units, 100 and some on guns, everything from a 55 caliber to a 155, and we blasted to the end. And when we only, now that wasn't as big as an island, it wasn't well defended an island, but it had an airport. We wanted the airport. We were only aboard the island 9 days. I think we were allowed 10 or 12, but we took it in 9. And when that was finished, we went back to our base. Well, we ended up back in Maui, Hawaii. And the day we got back, my lieutenant said to me, I got in before lunch. I hadn't seen him in a couple of months. His greeting was anything but nice. He was nasty. He dressed me down. I was out of uniform. Well, we didn't even know where sea bags were. We didn't have any clothes. It stank. Not only did we have them aboard ship, or aboard land, but we had them aboard ship, and they're the only ones we had, so we wore them. But when he got finished, he said, get to my tent. So I chop. And he came in and he said, Bob, I'm sorry, but you were out of uniform, and I had to dress you down because you were in public. And he threw his arms around me and hugged me. And he broke out a bottle of scotch. And he said, but you're still out of uniform. No, I said, I can't do anything about that. He said, no, but I can. And he took his bars off a uniform and gave me the coat. He said, today we're going to process applications for V12. Do you know, I want your papers in the morning. Oh, I'm not going back to the States, I'm staying with the unit. I want your papers. I said, oh, bullshit. Excuse me. No, he said, I'm serious. I want your papers in the morning. I said, are you kidding? I'm telling you, this is a direct order, and your failure to follow it, you're up for court-martial in the morning. I said, you mean? Yes. He had my papers. That afternoon, I was up before a board of colonels and majors. And the next morning before reveille, get up. Get your sea bag and go. Go where? There's a driver waiting for you. Take it headquarters, divisional. I said, go. So I get back to the States and ended up at V12 University as a member of V12 and spent my last year in the Marine Corps at college. I was only overseas 7 months. Only 2 campaigns. That was enough. But I got married. Not supposed to, but I did. The war was over. What I attempted to do is send him back to my unit. I was a bad boy. Oh well. I never got caught. That's why I got a good conduct medal. Because they couldn't catch me. But when it came, we were on a honeymoon, and some woman said, oh, Mr. Austin. Well, she didn't call him Mr. Hey, Marine, you're in the 4th Division. I'm so happy. I said, happy for what? They're overseas. What are you happy about? Oh, they've ordered the discharge point. I didn't know what you're talking about. But you realize there were 16 million Americans in uniform. And you can't put them all back into civilization at one time. So they said we'll give you a point for every month of service, 5 points for every campaign, 5 points for every citation. You get 50 points, you can go home. That way they can dribble them out. Well, I only had 45 points. Well, I said to my wife, I'll spend another 5 months at least. But the 1st of November, I got called. I thought, oh no, what do I do? I walked in the office. They said, you're eligible for discharge. You want to stay in or get out? I said, out. Are you sure? Well, I said, how do you figure? And they told me, 35 months, presidential unit citation, Saipan. They had counted each assault landing 5 points. The Mariana campaign, I counted as 5 points. And that 5 points cut me out. And I wasn't unhappy about going home, but you know, it was funny. When it did come out, a couple of days later, they sent me down to Philadelphia Navy Yard with a troop of 12. You're in charge, Austin. Yes, sir. 6 of them with a medical and 6 of them with points. And we signed the papers and got our checks and so forth. And we got outside. And I went to get on the streetcar. I said, oh, I don't have any money. No, I had a government check for a couple $100. I had no change. I didn't have a cent in my pocket. So one of the boys from Baltimore said, oh, I'll treat you. So I got down to downtown and went to the bank to carry my. The banks were closed. Oh, well, the bus station would do it. No, they wouldn't. They didn't trust a government check. Fortunately, at some point, I must have gone round trip from Wilkes-Barre, or from Philadelphia to Wilkes-Barre, but I never came back. And I had a stub in my pocket. And I said to the clerk, I'll give you my southbound if you give me a northbound. He said, I can't do that. I said, the hell you can't. Give me the manager. Well, the manager saw it my way. And so but when I got home, before I got home, the bus broke down. And we, right across the street was swap shoot. And the corporal that I was sitting with said, come on, Bob. I said, I don't even want, don't worry about it, I'll pay for it. So we're going to have a hot dog and a beer, I guess. And I said, pay for this phone call, I'm going to call my wife. He said, well, did she call my girlfriend? I said, I'm sure she will. So I called her and said, we're broken down, honey, this. But one thing, if you meet me at the bus station, make sure that you have 16 cents so we can get home on the streetcar. And that was my brass band welcoming back to civilization. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Does anybody have questions for
That's
Bob?
what I was going to ask.
I have a comment though.
Yeah.
On the way in, Bob was a teacher when he got out. He taught history and he was a guidance counselor, if I'm incorrect. But you were also an administrator and he was responsible for building a number of schools to include the school that we're in.
Oh, no, I was president of the school board at Stanton. And during that time, Telegraph Road building from 1927 was the only one still in use. Well, the only one, it was the only one, period. And we went from 600 students to 6,000 over the next couple of years. And we built 10 elementary schools during that period. Sometimes I felt like I was more
contract as a board member, because we built one in Meadowwood, and we could run a bus to get the kids from Meadowwood over to run a bus is expensive. And we wanted permission from the state, which we got, to build that overhead walkway. The state didn't build that, the school board built that. The sidewalks coming out of Kayamensi in the Stanton, the students could walk in, but there were no sidewalks, they couldn't run a bus. Oh no, we built the sidewalks so they could walk. We did a lot of things like that. It was fun.
I wanna know why you didn't kill that bull and have a steak dinner that night when he attacked you.
You know, I still wonder sometimes. My carbine was there. And my buddy's carbine was that close to his hand. And neither one of us had enough time to pick up a gun or shoot. He couldn't. But his speed was fantastic. And it's one of those, why?
Okay, we're going to end the Zoom program now, okay? But again, if you have questions and you'd like to come up and talk to Bob, let him sit down, get off his feet for a little while. He'll be more than happy to talk to you. Thank you very much for attending.